Strand Warlock is capable of achieving some of the highest DPS in the game, but requires certain fragments and optimized choices for your build. So let's talk about how to properly do that in this video. Part of the reason why Strand in general is able to achieve such high damage is because of the fragment, Thread of Ascent. This fragment will reload your equipped weapon when using your grenade, which effectively means you gain Demolitionist on any weapon. Giving Demolitionist to any weapon of choice can lead to some pretty broken DPS phases, and the weapon we're going to pair this with is the rocket launcher, Apex Predator. This is a raid rocket that drops from the Last Wish raid, and is currently one of the best DPS weapons in the game. Using this rocket isn't necessary to achieve higher DPS, as using any rocket will pair well with Thread of Ascent, but we'll go over why I personally think Apex is a good option. Moving on to the subclass, the best grenade you want to use is the Threadling Grenade. The Threadling Grenade will do the highest damage, and will also cause Unraveling when paired with the Swarmer's exotic. If using the Swarmers, there's also an artifact mod, Improved Unraveling, that will cause Unraveling effects to do more damage. Using Threadling Grenades isn't necessary for reloading your rocket. You can use the Shackle Grenade if it works better for your build, but you will be losing out on some damage if you do this. And just to quickly talk about other fragments, Thread of Generation will give you your grenade back on damage. And with the damage loop I'll be showing, you'll be able to get enough grenade energy to reload your rocket more than a few times. Thread of Evolution will cause your Threadlings to do more damage. This is useful not only for the grenade, but for Needle Storm as well, which is a very powerful burst damage super. And lastly, Thread of Continuity will extend the duration of your Unraveling effects. So let's talk about the damage loop. If you're using Apex Predator, the best perks are Reconstruction and Bait and Switch. Reconstruction will put 2 in the magazine at the start of a damage phase, and Bait and Switch is a 35% buff for 10 seconds when using all your weapons. Your special weapons can be pretty important for Bait and Switch. In this example, I'll be using Conditional Finality since I really do like this weapon and it can achieve some pretty good numbers with Bait and Switch. But you can also use Wither Horde or Izanagi's Burden if you don't have it. Starting off the damage phase, you want to hit your target with your primary and special weapons to proc Bait and Switch if you're using that. Switch over to your rocket, and assuming that you're using Apex Predator, hit your target with 2 rockets. Immediately after that, throw a Threadling Grenade. This will put Unraveling on the target and will also reload your rocket. At this point, shoot your 3rd rocket, then use your Needle Storm super. Needle Storm here will do a few things for you. It causes high burst damage, but also gives back grenade energy thanks to Thread of Generation. At this point, reload your rocket, and if you reload fast enough, you should reload 2 rockets. This is because the time it takes to use your super and reload your rocket is long enough for Reconstruction to proc. At this point, you should have your grenade back, and you can shoot another 2 rockets, grenade, and shoot again. By the end of this, you fired 6 rockets, and your Bait and Switch should be ready to reactivate again, and you can restart the damage loop. Reactivating Bait and Switch should give you enough time to load 2 rockets with Reconstruction, and by the end, should result in some pretty high damage. Let me know if you have any questions about the build, subscribe if you like this content, and have a good one.